because you are a business person as well, right?
Right.
Y'all musicians, y'all play gigs, y'all play for free? You don't play for free? Why not? Why? Why can't you pay for free? You got bills to pay. How about this guy? She got bills to pay, so that's why she's not gonna pay for free. Why won't y'all pay for free?
Because I'm working.
Because you work?
Yeah.
And a man is worthy of his hire, that's the one you gonna give me next? Let me ask you this. Would you still play if you didn't get paid?
Yeah.
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 That's the love.
Why?
But the love is
Passion.
I just love
The
to
passion
do it.
for it.
Passion for it. So, but since you can get paid for it, why not get paid for it too, right? Right?
Right.
So, I would say, and this is with anything, not just music, do what you love to do. Do it if you didn't get paid for it. Because there's going to be some instances where you show up and they're not going to have your money. And why flip out? You got to expect these things. You know, and these things happen sometimes even if you do conduct yourself in the right manner as it pertains to business. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get there and it's not always what the contract says. So you just have to, you expect things. Like I ride motorcycles, right? So if somebody jump in front of me, I'm not going to flip out because I already expected you to do the wrong thing. So when you do the wrong thing, I ain't going to really trip because I expected you to do the wrong thing. I mean, I was prepared for it. So I'm not going to ride parallel with you with certain maneuvers that I'm going to do to protect myself. And when you do the wrong thing, I'm not going to trip out. So you just have to expect things like this to happen. So we got musicians, we got singers. How many of us read the Bible? How many of y'all was going to read? Y'all got to just cover yourselves, don't you? Well, if you read the book of James, it talks about how God gives you a gift, and when he gives you a gift, he gives it to you perfect. What instrument you play? Organ. What instrument you play? Drums. What instrument you play? Drums.
Organ.
Organ.
Piano.
Piano.
Drum.
Drums. Organ. Singers. Bass. So my friend back there that plays the bass, did he choose to play the bass or did God give him the gift to play the bass? We're going to talk back. It's just not going to be me up here talking. We're going to talk back to each other. Since we have an intimate private. What do y'all think?
God gave
it. Both. I'm going to say both.
Both.
Yeah.
Did God tell him to play the bass?
No, he had a desire to play it.
He had a desire to play it.
Yeah.
All right, so when God gives you a gift, he gives it to you perfect. And just because you're a singer does not mean that you don't have an ability to play an instrument. Your passion is just singing. Because if you really wanted to play an instrument, because you have the gift inside you, you would be able to play that instrument. My friend that plays the bass in the back, if we was to take him and we lock him up in a room for a year with a trombone, we don't have a bass for you. We gonna give you the trombone. He's gonna come out a year later playing the trombone because it has nothing to do with the instrument.
That's a bad example, though, because I do play 6 instruments. And trombone happens to be one of the instruments that I do play. So that was a bad example. Don't say baritone either.
Okay, so he plays an wind instrument, so let me get off that track. A violin! If we stuck him in there with a violin, he gonna come out playing the violin. Now, we don't know if he's gonna be a good violinist because that depends on how good of a bass player he is. So if he's a whack bass player, he's gonna be a whack violinist. But whatever level of musicianship he has playing the bass, that's what he will be playing the violin. You understand? But my point is, when God gives you a gift, He gives it to you perfect. Now, how good you are, that depends on you. Because He gives you the gift, He didn't create robots. He created you with a mind and the ability to discern, to think for yourself. So it's up to you to practice and nurture your gift. Right? He's not going to do it for you. You know how you hear people in church say, well, I'm going to just sit and I'm going to wait on Jesus. I'm going to be waiting. I'm waiting for my breakthrough. I'm waiting for Jesus to do this for me. Well, why did He give you a brain? Or you are here, I don't need nobody. It's just me and Jesus. Well, then why did He put you down here with all these other people? It's not just about you and them. And it's not always about you, it's about people. Like being in leadership, that's why I get so ticked off when I see artists coming and they always have these different airs about them and they gotta have this and like, as if it's not a privilege for you to be in front of people playing and using the gift that God gave you. Because you're really not all that wonderful. Somebody else out there more wonderful than you are. Right? So we take what God gave us, we nurture it, we do the best we can with it, and let me get into this because I'm going off the top of my head. And we make the best of it. But it's about, my point is about people, it's not always about you. And I try to always keep that in my head, okay, it's not always about you, it's about people. Not you. So if y'all want to take some notes, you can. I'm just going to run down some leadership principles. First thing I want to talk about, because we're in a new movement now, we come from devotional service. Well, at least I come from that. I don't know how y'all do it down here in Alabama, but I come when they start to go, the deacons getting in front of the church and they start devotional service, and then they start going across the congregation, breaking out in testimonies. And sister so-and-so give a testimony, then you got deacon over here. You know what I mean? That's where I come from now. I don't know if y'all do that down here. But we have this new movement called praise and worship. Right? Anybody know what that is? So let's break it down. Let's start with that. That's the first thing we usually do in the morning after we do the scripture and the prayer. We have praise and worship right before the service starts. So let's start with the worship part. What is worship?
To give God glory.
Give God glory. Somebody else tell me. Because there is a difference.
Worship to me is simply saying thank you to God. You know, for me.
Intimate time with God.
Intimate time with God. Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Because musicians, this is important for you to know, because your spirit, man, is just as important as your gift. So this stuff is like really, really important. And I know a lot of times we play in church. And I'm not just talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself too. Because I'm guilty of some of these things. Sometimes we play, if the preacher don't really capture our attention, a lot of times we slip out the back door. You know, we go take our little break and we come back and we hear them tuning up. Am I the only one guilty of that? Y'all all stay in service right now?
I'm guilty.
I could be the only one. Huh?
I've been guilty of that.
Just being them? I'm trying to get better, I'm not there, but like, I'm in my head, like, okay, this preacher, like, I really need him, I'm trying to stay focused, but like he's not like capturing my attention. I'm just being real and honest with y'all, okay? I ain't gonna be phony in front of y'all, I'm just talking about like how it really is. And I'm trying to stay with him, and he's in the city of Babylon. So sometimes I struggle with that. But I try to stay in service to learn all that I can so that I could be a better person. You know what I mean? Because as musicians, we definitely need it as singers because we are exposed to a lot. by the time I was 17, I was playing in a high school jazz band. By the time I was 19, I think I started playing with the local groups around the city. And then I started playing for this old cat named Keith Pringle. I don't know if any of you heard of Keith Pringle. Men with all guys' children, I started playing. Then I started playing with Edwin Hawkins, and then I started traveling, and then I said, you know what, I'm going to go get my degree. So I enrolled in Temple University, and I was in school maybe 4 months, and I started getting calls to go to Japan and, you know, these groups, and then I'm like, wow, this is really what I'm in school for. So I thought about it, and, you know, I was getting advice, no, you stay in school, you get your degree so that you can get a good job, so that you, but that wasn't really in my heart. Like, I'm getting ready calls to go on the road, and this is like what I was feeling. So I went back and told the professor, why y'all in here arguing what color Beethoven is or was, because we really don't know, and I really don't care. Like, I'm trying to learn how to play, and y'all in here with all this other stuff that don't matter. Like, that's our answer. So I don't know what color he was or what he, you know what I mean? I don't even care what year he was born, for real, for real. It could be 1820, it could be 18, like just all this prerequisite stuff they make you go through in school. So I said, I'm dropping out, I'm going on the road, and then when things slow down, I'll come back and get my degree. Well, I'm still waiting to go back to school and get my degree. And that's been a long time ago. So, where was I? Did I get off track? Talk about worship, right? Okay. Worship is your vertical relationship with God. You ever see people in church when they worship, they really don't care what they look like. They really don't care what you think about them. They really don't care if they really fall off or if something drop off. I mean, they really, really don't care because their worship is so on point. That's their vertical. That's just them and the Lord and their relationship. And you don't have to be in church for, you don't really have to be in church to have a relationship with God. I mean, it's probably more potent when people are not around you. When you just talk to God by yourself, whether it be driving, whether it be at home before you play, you know, you can offer a silent prayer to the Lord, like, Lord, thank you that I could just sit here at the organ or the piano or the drums, and I have my motor skills and can make sounds. And when I make sounds, the people out there like move. Like, that's some powerful stuff. Like, Lord, thank you. I know a guy that played with me at my church for years under me as my organist, and like now he gets on Facebook, and the only thing he can do is communicate with his eyes, because he have ALS, you know, the Empire, y'all see that? Like, that's real. And he's in a wheelchair, and in a matter of 2 years, all his muscles and everything just shut down. And there's no cure for it. So he's in a wheelchair, he has to communicate with his computer, and they set it up where he can do it with his eyes. But years prior to that, he was like a banging organist. So you never know what can happen to you. So the least you can do is thank the Lord for giving you the gift, the opportunity, the time, because you're not going to always be playing forever. So you treasure the time that you have to use the gift to the best of your ability. Amen? It ain't really all about competing with and who play better than, like, we be on some other stuff. It's not important who play better than who and all that. All that stuff is not important. Focus on you. Be a better you. And if you are a better you, it'll come out in your music. Okay? So